Welcome to Divine Plot Twist, where we uncover the hidden narratives within the Bible. I'm a residential scholar from the University of Hard Knocks, Twigger, aka Baba Mustafa, and today we are tackling a tough topic. And the topic is the negative impact certain Bible verses have on women, and why some may reconsider their faith because of these passages. I know some of you won't, but it has to be said. Now, what am I talking about? Let's start at the beginning with Genesis 3:16. This verse states, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." Now, why would God make a woman be so miserable giving birth, given that in the first place he created them to multiply? And what's the charge here? Because she went out there and ate of fruit to gain knowledge? The same knowledge in Hosea 4:6 says that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, and they have rejected the knowledge. That's why they've been destroyed, even though that verse is talking about the priest. The concept is the same. So why would God punish a person who don't know any better? Think about this. If right now, if you had your child, told her do not eat those cookies because if you eat those cookies, you're gonna have a stomach ache, and then you leave, and the child eats the cookies, they don't have a stomach. Genesis 3:16 has been used to justify the subordination of women throughout history. This is not anything new. Everybody knows about this because this verse also establishes a hierarchy where men rule over women, which can perpetuate unequal power dynamics and gender-based oppression. We see that at the workplaces, where some people think that women cannot rule just because they're women. They forget the brain is not a muscle. I mean, it is a muscle, but it's not a physicality muscle where you're bench pressing. I've seen some women who are very smart and very knowledgeable in their field. Should those women not be leaders in their chosen professions? Something to think about. Now, moving on, let's take a look at Leviticus 12, verses 2 to 5. And this discusses the purification process after childbirth. It states that a woman is unclean for 7 days if she gives birth to a son, but for 2 weeks if she gives birth to a daughter. Now, do you love your son more than your daughter? They are both your kids, right? So why would a woman be unclean for 2 weeks, and for a son, 1 week? The birthing process is the same. I've never seen a child come out the ass. It's always through the vagina. If there's a C-section, it's through the stomach. So I don't see why giving birth to one gender makes a woman unclean longer than the other gender. But that's your Bible says that. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what it is, what's written. These differentiations implies that the birth of a daughter is less valued than the birth of a son. If you ask me. And such notions contribute to cultural devaluation of women. And this reinforces a harmful gender bias that persists to this day. How many times have you heard, the comparison between men and women? And people miss the point when they do that comparison. It's not about the muscles, it's about who's stronger than the other. We all know 98% of men are stronger than women. There are some women out there who are stronger than men. I'm not going to lie. If you ever met a 6-foot woman with muscles like a dude, do you think my 5'4" is going to be able to argue with that woman? No, she whoop my ass. So we can't always say men are always stronger. Okay? So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, one of the most disturbing passages, Deuteronomy chapter 22, verses 28 to 29. And this verse says that a woman who is raped must marry her rapist. This is ridiculous. Did God not put into consideration that this not only disregards the woman's trauma, but also traps her in a lifelong bond with her abuser? Just think about it. You're trapped to someone who forced themselves into you for the rest of your life. And you're telling me God did not calculate and see, hey, this woman might be traumatized, and also it's going to put her in a lot of uncomfortable situation for the rest of her life. That is what you're telling me, that your God of the Bible did not put into consideration. Think on that. Sit down and think about that. All the people who've been raped, that they should be married to their rapist. That is just utter nonsense. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It is. Okay? Because these verses have historically been used to control women's behavior and limit their autonomy. They reflect a time when women were seen as property rather than individuals with their own rights and desires. Okay? You got raped by someone and then you have to be their wife for the rest of your life. Man, that is just disgusting. And hey, don't get me started, okay? With verses like 1 Corinthians 14:34 to 35 and Timothy 2nd 11 to 12. These verses command women to remain silent in churches and to be submissive. I mean, these directives have long been used to exclude women from leadership roles in religious communities. But hey, more power to Joyce Meyer, Juanita Bynum, Jackie Perry, or Perry Jackie, I don't know what her name is. They took a stand and they said such restrictions will not silence us, and they will not silence our voices or our contributions, and these verses will not foster environments where we feel undervalued and marginalized. So they became leaders of their churches and many others. I applaud those women for saying, no, we're not going to take these verses seriously. Now, for many, these teachings are incompatible with contemporary views on gender equality and personal dignity. But let me ask you this, dear listeners. Do you think those women that are pastors and worship leaders or whatever, that they're in sin? Are they breaking God's law for disobeying 1 Corinthians 14:34 to 35 and 1 Timothy 2nd 11 to 12? Are they disobeying God? Are they going to go to hell? Just tell me, are they going to hell because they disobeyed what the Bible said? Those verses silence women. And there are additional verses that negatively impact women's roles and status. For example, one that comes into mind is 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. Women are instructed to submit to their husbands and to focus on inner beauty and a gentle spirit. While, these can be positive traits, the emphasis on submission can be seen as limiting to women's autonomy. Now, that's why you find a lot of women saying, I can do better all by myself. Because they're being told that they have to submit to their husbands. Now, there has to be order in a marriage. There has to be the leader. But in a marriage, you rule together. The husband and the wife are one. Doesn't it say something like that in Genesis? The man shall leave with his parents and go to join to his woman, and they shall become one. Then how can you turn around and say the woman has to submit to the husband? It's such things you read in the Bible and you see how religion has crippled people's mind and put them into slavery. And they don't even know it. Now, if we look into Numbers chapter 5, verses 11 to 31, the test for unfaithful wives involves a humiliating ordeal where a suspected adulteress drinks bitter water to prove her innocence. This ritual underscores the mistrust and control over women's bodies and behaviors. Because ask yourself this, why is it that the woman has to drink the bitter water but not the man? What if the man cheats? The man who's an adulterer, what if he cheats? Does he get to drink the bitter water? No, there's no such rules for men. It's only for women. So men can go do whatever they want to do out there, but the women, they can't do anything. Now tell me if that's fair. all you women of faith of this religion, right? To me, that is not even the most sickening part of this. I want you to, right now, before even continuing, go pick up your Bible and read Judges 19. I'm going to tell you why. In Judges 19, especially from verses 24 through 25, a concubine is horrifically abused and murdered, with her death leading to further violence rather than justice for her suffering. These narratives highlight a persuasive devaluation of women's lives. And what do I mean by this? This Judges 19 is the most disgusting, sickening chapter in the Bible. So basically, this dude walks into this town and he sits in the city center because he doesn't have a place to sleep. And one of the guys says, "Hey man, you can't sleep out here. Come to my house. I invite you." The guy says, "No." But the guy insists. So he goes to his house, and then the men of the city, they're like, "Hey, your guest did not pay homage to us. We want to do some things to him." Same thing that happened to the angels in Sodom and Gomorrah. So this dude says, "Okay, I'll give you my concubine, but let this guy be what he is." They raped this woman all night. In the morning, when they open the door, the woman is found dead in the deck of the house. And this guy slices the woman in 12 parts and sends those parts to Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. Now, this is so sickening. I mean, that this dude offered this concubine to be done like that all night long. I don't want to imagine. It makes me sick to my stomach. And this is the religion that you want to follow and be like, yeah, those are the words of God. Okay. Go ahead and keep doing that. All right. Now I've spoken a lot. It's time for me to wind down now. While the Bible contains messages of love, oh my God, I can't even believe I'm saying this, and redemption, it also includes passages that have been interpreted to justify the subjugation of women. These verses can cause deep harm and lead some to question their place within their faith, as they should. Sit down and think about it. Now, if these verses have impacted you or someone you know, I highly doubt it, but remember that questioning and seeking understanding is a vital part of faith, regardless whether you're Muslim, Christian, Hindu, whatever faith you are in, right? It's okay to reconsider and explore different paths, okay? Read your Bible, question it. If you see something that doesn't align with anything, find someone to explain to you. Question it. Use your critical thinking, okay? Anyways, that's it for today. I just wanted to show support for women out there and highlight the Bible verses out there that are just put a negative connotation to women. And I hope that you shall share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And let's support each other in this journey. Until next time, stay strong, stay informed. I'm out, y'all. Peace.